Good evening, everybody. This is Let Me See Your Transcript, your very favorite history teacher, also your very favorite government teacher, and here with some news from the Supreme Court and the Federal Court of Appeals today. I've been really wanting to come on here for several different days on different topics, but it's that time of the year, testing, state testing, and everything. So, but today I had to come on because within yesterday and today there have been some judicial rulings that I think are very, very important. I put three links to three articles in the description, and because I'm always looking at the news, getting news notifications. Um, I'm, you know, I'm on several different news networks, CNN, Al Jazeera English. I even subscribe to BBC. I even subscribe to overseas. I think it's called the Hindustan Times, um, the Associated Press, Reuters, the Independent, PBS, NPR. I'm also looking at different Roland Martin Unfiltered. I also look at Don Lemon. I also look at different political commentarians. Um, Tabitha Speaks Politics was really good. Hawks podcast is good. Um, I like the Midas Touch. I just started getting into them. Shout out to Lindsay. She got me into watching Dark Brandon. And when I was in the chat one day, I got gifted a membership, so I'm really loving it right now. I also like Reese Waters, and I'm trying to think who else that I like. Handsome Liberal, and it's one more person is it Brian Tyler Cohen? I think so. And these are all, some of the Tabitha's a black woman, Handsome Liberal, and Reese Waters black men. Hawks, Brian Taylor Cohen, they're white or Anglo American Caucasian. Midas Touch as well. If you know some other commentarians or news stations that I should look at, please let me know. Just put in the description or in the chat. But let's go ahead and get to the news you can use. Hey, Just Mona, so glad you could be here. Okay. Let's first start off with Abrego Garcia. So Abrego Garcia um, came to the United States legally in 2019. And he sought asylum because he feared the gangs in El Salvador. A judge gave him a stay order. He was not to be removed. He was allowed to work, which he did. And then he also got married and has a child. So his wife is a U.S. citizen. His child's a U.S. citizen. Back on I believe it was March 12th, he was taken in by ICE, and then like removed to like an detention center and then put on a plane with the other 230 something odd Venezuelans to be sent to um, the El Salvador. The United States, or our President Trump, made an agreement with, I think his name was Bukele, the El Salvadoran president, that he would house anyone we would send for $6 million. Well, through an administrative error, the people, I guess the agents on the plane, when they was going through the list of all the men on the plane, they should have taken, they should have removed Abrego Garcia from the plane. So they said, oh, it's administrative error. And then they're saying, oh, he's in El Salvador in custody. We're not sure if we can get him back. And I'm thinking like, well, didn't Christy Nome go down there like last week, a week before last, just send her back down there and go get him? You know where he's at? You're paying $6 million to house people that we're sending who are supposed to go. This man was not supposed to go. So you're saying our president can't just call their president and say, hey, just go get Abrego Garcia out of there, put him on a plane, we'll pay for the gas, and send him on back here. I just feel like the United States doesn't want to, and their excuse is that yes, it's administrative error. He shouldn't have been removed, but he's not in Trinidad Agua gang, as we said before. He's in MS-13 gang, and I'm thinking like. Then they said that he led some gang in Long Island or something like that, and he's never been there before. So it's like, yeah. So, but in this case, Justice Roberts, speaking for the Supreme Court, said, "Hey, because the deadline to have for the Trump administration to return him, I want to say it was either tomorrow or yesterday, or it might have been today. No, I think it was the 6th or the 7th. And so Justice Roberts has paused the deadline for Abrego Garcia to return. They're going to listen to some more arguments from both sides because the Trump administration is saying, like, hey, we don't have to bring him back at all for these reasons. And the court is like, well, we need to know what your reasons are. And so what they did have said, because it's kind of like, it looks like a win for the Trump administration. But on the other hand, I think the court is also giving the people who are in detention now that are still in the U.S. that they're telling the Trump administration, and they're also telling the defendants, y'all have failed to go through the due process that you're supposed to, because we don't want any more of these flights that are leaving last minute. We don't want these people who are being taken from their home. They're not having a hearing where they are in their location. You just taking them to DC or far away and then putting them on a plane. We're not doing that. So they basically telling them, like, hey, you need to go to due process rights because we're supposed to, because we all get that as U.S. citizens, but everyone who's here is supposed to get it as well, according to the Fifth Amendment. And also, the defendants have a right, according to the Fifth Amendment, to defend themselves. The federal government is saying, hey, you are a part of this organization that has been deemed a terrorist organization by our government, and they need to okay, they need to be able to defend themselves, bring you evidence that that is not true. And basically, the judge, or because I think there's like immigration judges, need to decide. And so I know right now there are at least 3 other cases, I probably need to do a separate video, that are in the same situation as Abrego Garcia. One is in Texas, one is in, I think, California, and there's a couple of others. They were picked up, they were put on the plane, and they were sent over there, and their loved ones, they're watching because the United States put out a video, and they saw their loved one buy their tattoo. And according to the federal government, it's like, oh, this is a gang tattoo. And some of those tattoos had nothing to do with gangs. Had nothing to do with gangs. And so right now, they're telling, and hopefully the lawyers are paying attention to what, because it does look like a win for the United States. Like, oh, we're going to pause him. You can, y'all can deport people. But at the same time, the court is saying, hey, before you put them on a plane, they need to go through the process. Because I think he's also telling the United States, because then when they get to us, we're right. And so, yeah, so I'm definitely going to be looking at this case. Might do another video about Abrego and the other individuals, because I've also seen some incidences where they're now taking away the visa status of international students. And the normal thing for them to do is to contact the university, and the university will contact the student. Well, now these students are waking up the next day and finding out they got an email saying that they got to get out the country. And a lot of it has to do with them participating in First Amendment right, freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and pro-Palestinian rallies. And so, Yeah. So, and it's like, y'all didn't let them go through a due process before you kicked them out. There was even a man sent who's South Sudanese. So it's not just Latino, Hispanic looking people or Asian looking people, Middle Eastern people. It's Africans too that was deported back. And South Sudan was like, oh, he's not from here. He's from the Democratic Republic of Congo. So they sent him back to the United States. Well, Marco Rubio got all mad and stuff, talking about, well, y'all the one who put on his passport that he was from there. So we're suspending all your South Sudanese. Y'all all gonna have to go. And I'm like, Lord, it's getting crazy. I'm like, y'all all are sounding like Trump now. Ooh, scary, scary, scary. And then the president said the other day was like, well, I'm going to double check, but if we got some bad Americans, we can send them over there to El Salvador too. And I'm like, wait a minute. Is he talking about U.S. citizens outside the United States to go to jail? But he's like, I'm going to double check, but I think we can. And I'm like, Lord have mercy. Oh, fix it, Jesus. No, 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 no. No, okay. Because I think unfortunately that's gonna happen. Is that I think someone that they thought was an immigrant and they're gonna find out is really a US citizen is gonna get caught up over there, and either they're gonna get all the civil rights groups behind them, or they're gonna be somebody with some big money that's gonna get them a good lawyer, and they're gonna fight it. And it's like we're gonna look well, our president's gonna look like he's looking, but anyway. So, um, but yeah, I'm definitely going to be praying for this man and all the others. Um, I just didn't like the way they brought them in to the prison because I've seen like prison movies and they show you what they do when they bring the prisoners in. But the way they brought them in, it was like y'all was doing extra. And then like the corrections officers, they all had like the what's they call it, the bacala over their face so you couldn't see who they were. They shaving the men's head and making them bend down. I'm like, this is a lot. This is a lot. And then the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Chrissy Nome, she going over there making another commercial using the inmates as a backdrop, wearing a $50,000 watch. Got her hair and her makeup all kept in her little tight shirt. I said, ma'am, you went to a male prison. Why you? Okay, ma'am. All right. Whatever you say. All right. So let's go on to this actually came out today, earlier today, and I was really upset. Basically, the Supreme Court again says, hey, Trump, you can fire the 16,000 federal employees. But however, it's the 16,000 federal probationary employees. So these are employees who like just got the job, and usually your probationary period is anywhere, I think, from like, was it 90 days to 180 days? So those employees do not have to be rehired. So I guess that's a sort of a win. Um, but that means the other employees who've like been there decades, who have seniority, who have good performances, they gonna need to get their job back. So yeah. So, but they said the 16,000 federal probationary employees from the 6 agencies that he's already started like firing people because of Doge said so. That the probationary ones are going to have to stay fired. So, and that's coming from the Supreme Court. So, yeah, hopefully they can find another job or get some help or, whoo, we need to figure out. A lot of people was out protesting on April the 5th. I need them people to go to their polls. I need them people to go and contact their congressman, okay, and let them know. So, yeah. So, this was the most recent one. This was from a few hours ago, and I was probably the happiest about this. Because, like I said, I follow a lot of news agencies, and Associated Press or the AP News happens to be one. Yeah, I know, Mona, right? Because it was like, we told you. It was like, I need to find that meme of I need to make the meme from because former Vice President Kamala Harris, she gave a speech and she said, "I don't mean to come up here and I say I told you so," but I'm like, I'm gonna say it too. I told you so. She told you so. Heck, Hillary Clinton told you too. A lot of people did. Be like, oh, I thought he was gonna bring down gas prices. He's gonna bring down egg prices. Egg prices is still up, and I think I slowly see the gas prices going up. Now he don't hit all these other countries with a tariff. And then I saw the day that cause so some of the other countries are like, oh, you're gonna hit us with a tariff, we're gonna hit you with one back. That's the same thing. Hey, Sidra Watkins, that's the same thing that happened during the Great Depression. We thought like, oh, we're gonna increase our tariffs, so that's gonna help our economy. And then all the other countries did the same thing, and none of us could sell to each other. And we made the Great Depression worse and last a couple of years longer. And I'm just like, so when I saw Canada, Mexico was like, oh, we're gonna hit you with a tariff back, and then he kept postponing. And then the European Union was like, well, we're gonna give you one back too. And then right now, I thought it was North Korea, but it's South Korea. So Japan, South Korea, and China, who normally don't always get along, they all said that if they get hit with tariffs, they all gonna tariff back the United States, and they gonna trade with each other. I'm just like, okay, you want us to be isolationists, but like back in the 18th, like back in the late 1900s, early 1900s. I'm like, okay, he really is. Oh, and today he done made an executive order about coal, y'all. And I'm thinking to myself, I live in Texas. Coal is not really big down here. It's oil and gas. And then there's like new energy, wind, Uh, but I'm just like, coal? Seriously? And then now I just got another notification that said, oh, we're gonna loosen pollution restrictions on the coal. And I said, okay, all right. This is okay. So we are gonna be like Loretta Lynn's daddy. They're gonna be more men, more girls singing "I was born a coal miner's daughter." Like, what kind of health benefits? Yeah, there are some. You're right, Sidra Walker. There are some northern states that are in their grid, and it's like, which by the way, this was what I think Biden was trying to do. He was trying to get us all the states on the same grid. Because you remember when we had that Texas freeze, a lot of people in Texas, we found out that we were not on the same grid with the rest of the United States. And even some parts of Texas was not on the same grid with each other. Like East Texas is on a grid with Louisiana, Arkansas. And then I think El Paso is on a grid with Arizona, Utah, and New Mexico. So it was just like, yeah. So yeah. And then they already started taking down the alcohol, like Tennessee whiskey, all the American liquors, they started taking that out of their stores. He is not dealing with the same leaders that he was dealing with when he was number 45. Okay. He is dealing with what's her name? Rosenbaum, President Rosenbaum in Mexico. She's the first female president of Mexico, and he is dealing with the new Prime Minister of Canada, Carney. He is not like Trudeau. That man is not speaking with a soft voice over there. Okay. Okay, you on the same grid as Mississippi, Alabama. Okay. All right. Are you in Louisiana or Florida? Okay. So I'm just like, ooh, this needs to stop. Yeah. So yeah, it's just like, okay, we okay. It's like he does and I really want to like add the Congress right now and be like, do we really? Oh, you're in Louisiana. Okay, cool. And I'm so proud of y'all, Louisiana. Y'all got them amendments. Y'all went to Baton Rouge. Okay, cool. Um, um, y'all really did a good job of getting those 4 amendments. Y'all went out and y'all said no. They even brought in 50 Cent trying to like use him to get everybody to support Amendment 2. And I read those amendments. I was like, wait a minute, sir. What you doing? And Reese Waters had a really good video, and it was like all these different clips from people from Shreveport, other parts of Louisiana, and they were just giving their opinions about 50 Cent trying to get them to vote for them amendments. They said no to all four of them. So I was like, go ahead, Louisiana. So um but yeah, this last one I was really, really excited about because I always tell my students about free speech, what their rights are, how they can protect you and stuff like that, especially now with everything that's going on. But wait, they talking about redoing Amendment 2? Oh my goodness. They not oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Lord have mercy. They just don't. Whew. Ooh, fix it, Jesus. How can we fix it, Jesus? Man, we was out there. All y'all was out there Saturday. Now, what else can we do? Just we gotta get the midterm. Everyone get an ID, early vote, do everything. Cause yeah. So, do you have the Next Door app? No, I don't have the Next Door app. What does that do? What does that do? It's not like that Signal app, is it? Oh, I gotta do another video about that because I was Pete Head said the Secretary of Defense he's being investigated, and I heard I'm still trying to get confirmation um on if the a national security advisor, the one who added the person to the app, that he might have gotten fired because this far right reporter, she went to the White House last week and basically told the president like, "Hey, these three people you need to get rid of because they're not loyal enough." So I'm still trying to figure out was it he that got fired or was it someone else in the office? So um they're talking about it. Oh, okay, I gotta look that up. So okay, no, it's not like a signal. Okay, thanks. Um, hey V Harjet, how you doing? So glad you can make it. So, but yeah, the Associated Press. So y'all remember it's an app where your neighbors post news, missing pets. Okay, this is the Next Door app. And it's an app where your neighbors post news, missing pets, yard sales. Okay, cool. Okay, I gotta look at that. Okay. All right. So the AP News, okay, remember like 2 months ago when President Trump, it was like the first week, and he was like executive order, And one of them was he was like, I'm gonna turn the Gulf of Mexico into the Gulf of America. And then so some people were like, the MAGAs and the Republicans were like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And people like me out that was teachers, we were like, wait a minute, how you just gonna go in there and just rename a body of water that you really don't own or don't have, a lot of, because I forget how many miles from the coast that the US has jurisdiction to. So I'm just like, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, why? Because he just did it, and some people say it's a distraction. Yeah, he does certain things that sound good, so people can focus on that, and then don't focus on the other stuff he does. I noticed everything he doing. The same thing with somebody, oh, we're gonna get the Panama Canal back. That was never that and calling the Gulf of Mexico the government were never campaign promises. I don't remember any time last year, even during the debates, talking about we finna take the canal back, we finna call Gulf of Mexico Gulf of America. It was bad enough that he was telling people was doing the debate that with Kamala Harris that people were eating dogs in Indiana. Was it Indiana or Illinois? and people still voted for that man. And I'm just like, y'all was talking about mad about Joe Biden talking about, oh, he not all the way there. And I'm like, well, is this one all the way there now? Especially after these tariffs? Oh my good. He told y'all, I'm gonna make, and I remember he said this, I'm gonna make sure they pay the tariff. And I'm like, and then right after everybody voted for him, the people was Googling tariff. Well, he done did it now. I don't know if it's crashed all the way, but it's getting low every day. Oh yeah, guess what else he's talking about too? Because remember his thing is he's here to make America great again. And this is the thing. For some people, America has always been great. America will be great. Right now, I don't feel like America's great. He's making a lot of people inside the country mad at him, outside the country mad at him. He got some loyal people helping him do his job this time around because last time he needed help. But this one, the people he got is incompetent. They sound just like him. I'm like, that's probably why he picked them. Because every time I see the press secretary and Pam Bundy, and now Marco is sounding like him, and Pete Hegseth been sounding like him, and Vance is sounding like him too. But he probably trying to keep his spot because he don't want Elon to take his spot back. And people get tired of Elon too. And see, that's what I don't understand about the 401k. So that's what I probably need some information about. How is the 401k related to the stock market and the tariffs? Because I have TRS, I have teacher retirement. So I'm trying to figure this all out. But either way, and him and his secretary at Treasury trying to tell folks that, oh, people who what did he say? He said something about people who are investing are not or something he said are not worrying about the day-to-day um something of the stock market. I'm like, dude, I was like, man, I miss Janet Yellen because Janet Yellen was the Federal Reserve Board chairman. She was over the money supply. She was over the interest rates. Then Biden did the smart thing and he got her to be the Secretary of the Treasury. And when she talked, she knew what she was talking about. Okay. They supposed to advise the president to do their job. Oh, so 401ks are investments. Oh, okay. So are the investments only the stock market? Or is it like a multiple number of things you can invest in your 401k? Is it like mutual funds? So I'm just like, okay, sir, yeah. The same thing with him. Like why is he talking about us wanting Greenland all of a sudden? You're a big country, basically trying to bully a small country to make yourself look good. Then Vance was over there talking bad. Okay, you have a okay, sorry, put that back in there, showing that you have a financial that's with the group like Voya, Raymond Jackson, and they invest in stocks. Okay, cool. Okay, thank you. Y'all, you informing me. So yeah, and that's the thing is like I really want to make a video and just say, Dear Greenland, my name is, let me see the transcript. I am from Houston, Texas, Harris County. My county is blue. My city is blue, but the rest of the state is red. They all voted us, and they voted for the man in the White House. And I just want to let y'all know I don't like him neither, and I stand with y'all. I need, I just need to make dear world. We didn't. Some of us did not vote for him. Some of us did not vote for him. So if you decide to hit us with tariffs, or you want to send a missile or something, don't send it to the blue parts. Okay, we ain't had nothing to do with him. We had nothing to do with that. Okay, I had Exxon stock, but I sold all except for 300 shares. That's still good. 300 shares of Exxon. And I was thinking about like actually investing in the stock market this year, but look at what Trump done. I'm just like, okay, may have to keep my coins right now. But isn't Iceland actually green and Greenland actually ice? And that's what I'm thinking. Like, was he confused too? Thinking that we just need Greenland because we need it because case of China and Russia, and I'm like, Alaska is so much closer to both of those places, sir. And it's already a state. Y'all just making up stuff. Y'all just need to stop. But I'm sorry. Let me get to this last part. I have a cousin that's supposed to be going to Greenland. Is he going to Greenland or Iceland? This Iceland is mostly volcanic. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. And so, okay, so the AP News, when Trump was like, I'm gonna call the Gulf of Mexico, I'm gonna call the Gulf of America. He actually wrote an executive order for that. And I was like, did he consult the geographers around the world? The two other countries, the other countries that's around the Gulf of Mexico? Like, that's kind of like very arrogant of you to say our country get to rename the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. I taught history. I read history. Let me see. Tell your cuz to dress warmly. Oh, okay. Um, there was a Spanish explorer named I think his name was Pineda, and he was actually looking for a north. They were all looking for a faster route to the east, to Asia. And so when he was, I think he landed at Florida. So he kept going and he ended up mapping what is called the Gulf of Mexico. But he never got to, the West, but he helped to map the coast so that the Spanish explorers after him were able to come here. So it's been the Gulf of Mexico since this man mapped it in the 1400s. Okay. Late 1400s. 1500. I think it was 1519. Now, I understand about explorers. It was a form of imperialism. They were not the first ones here. I understand that. But historically speaking, what country is the Gulf of Mexico? Because when the Spanish arrived, the place where it is, most of that was their land first. Okay. Usually, countries may rename themselves land, not the water next to it. So now all the other Caribbean countries, Canada and Mexico, and the whole world gotta call it Gulf of America because our president wrote an executive order. Okay, so if, for example, if Pam Bondi and Kathleen, the press secretary, saying the court doesn't have jurisdiction in El Salvador, they can't, make them bring Abrego Garcia back here. Okay, that's true. But the order is for the Trump administration to go get him back, not for El Salvador. So if that's a reasoning of the United States that, it's not their jurisdiction, well, guess what? Maybe the Gulf of Mexico is not your jurisdiction either. Guess what? For those other countries, hey, United States, renaming Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America, is not in their jurisdiction. They gonna use their map. Okay? They gonna use their map. It's every week he's signing something. And my thing is this. I think slowly he's getting more and more of the Republicans, especially the older ones, and they are tired. Because he's also doing, he's taking power away from them too. Because the Congress is supposed to make laws. He is supposed to sign them or veto them. he's doing these executive orders every week. What does he need Congress for? Right now, just really confirming people in his administration. And so there's a couple of congressmen they really was upset about the signal. They're calling for the signal chat to be investigated. That's being investigated now because they were like the senior most members. It was a Democrat and a Republican. And then now a couple of Republicans are like, hey, I'm willing to talk with these Democrats because maybe we gave too much power to the president over these tariffs because they want to take the tariff away from Canada. They're like, and then now they coming up with a proposed budget, and it's like they're working together. And Trump has already said, well, if they're doing a bipartisan bill or anything, I'm going to veto it. So he doesn't want them working together. He wants the Republicans to support everything he says. And I'm just like, dude, that's not this is government. Where's the compromise? Where's the best interest of the people? Because it seems like a lot of his decisions is like, because I feel like he's being petty and revengeful. And he wants the most loyal people around him. But the most loyal people around him is not competent. Oh my goodness. No, they didn't. Oh my goodness. OMG. Okay, so if you get back to the AP News, I'm all over the place. So the AP News, all the news agencies started reporting the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America. Well, the AP News has been around for, I want to say, over 100 years. And for them, they've always been like very factual. Like, CNN is middle center, MSNBC is left, Fox News is right. And, usually NPR, PBS, Reuters, and Associated Press, they're usually just straight facts. They don't necessarily, they just hit you with the facts. And so for them, well, the fact of the matter for them is the Gulf of Mexico is the Gulf of Mexico. They're not calling the Gulf of America. So our president, because he's petty and revengeful, decided to get them back by taking away their press pass and taking away their access to of because a lot of them were a lot of the news because a lot of the news stations and news magazines and news newspapers, they have a White House correspondent. So, and usually the White House correspondent gets a pass and they come to all the events of the White House. They go on Air Force One. They get to be in the room when the press secretary is there, ask questions. So now they kicked them out, saying, okay, so y'all don't want to call the Gulf of Mexico Gulf of America, we're kicking you out. Then they also kicked them out because I think they had a defense. Some of them had like defense offices. And access to federal buildings too, right? And so the Associated Press, AP News, sued the U.S. government. I believe they also sued the U.S. government and Trump, and they said that they were being this was a violation of their First Amendment rights, freedom of the press. Well, today a federal appeals court agreed with them. They said that President Trump barring AP News from the White House and Air Force One was unconstitutional. It was a violation of the First Amendment because it's freedom of the press. And it says in the First Amendment, no state shall prohibit the freedom of the press. So when he did that to them, he was actually in violation of the law. So we're gonna see because knowing the Trump administration, they're gonna appeal it upward. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, when I tell you about loyalty, he wants people to follow him. Then the Abrego Garcia case, they fired the prosecutor. No, not the prosecutor. They fired the lawyer that was representing the United States in that case. and they fired the man that was, I guess, immediately underneath him. So I guess because he didn't do a good enough job, um, because they just paused the return of Abrego Garcia. I guess he didn't do a good enough job to say, "Hey, we don't have to return him at all." So they think that he didn't do enough job, so they fired him. And that man been they said that man been there 20, 30 years. And he had defended the United States on other cases before when Trump was 45. So they were like really surprised. So yeah, Trump wants people just to follow him. And the unfortunate thing is the first people he turned on was some of the MAGAs who were federal employees who benefited from USAID, who benefited from all these different programs, farmers. Now he's looking at the Department of Education. And I'm still trying to figure out who asked for that. I don't remember that being a campaign promise. Was that a campaign promise ahead? I need to go back to he had all them thing on rally. So it has to be somewhere. Oh, that was see, that's a different that was okay, hold on. Let me what it was, the Supreme Court said, yeah, they paused the lower court requiring him to rehire, but it's the specific employees are the ones who are on probation. He does not have to rehire the federal employees that were on probation. That's the ones he doesn't have to rehire. The ones who are on federal probationary employees. Okay. So basically the AP News, they get, they won their case. I'm happy about that because I think also he doesn't like dissent. And it's like it's it's like why does you and your people get to do everything that's guaranteed by the Constitution and law, but nobody else can because they disagree with you? Are they immigrant? Are they not MAGA? They're not Republicans? Like now y'all cutting FDA, the CDC. You talking about, oh, we're gonna tear it's gonna be painful. He lied to his own people, and when he told them, I'm gonna make them pay for the tariff. What you doing now? You tariffing the whole damn world, and the whole damn world is like, well, we gonna tariff you back, and then we gonna trade with each other. And I'm just thinking like, and then today he was like, oh, 104% tariff on China. And I'm thinking like, aren't most of our shoes made in China? And I had one student, he works at Nike. I said, can you tell me tomorrow what's the price of them shoes gonna be? Oh, that's great. I'm so happy. She got rehired. Praise the Lord. And the thing is, he had the wrong people. He was having tech people go through the records and stuff and say, "Oh, these people need to be hired." No, he needed human resource people. And then because he did that, that's when people was like, "I finna trade my Tesla back in," and you saw the protest at the Teslas, and then the president had to bring 5 Tesla on the White House lawn to help him sell them. Okay. Oh, she was one of the probationary employees. Did she get rehired before the case? Right. So I hope she does get to keep. Oh, okay. All right. So she got okay. So hopefully she does get to keep because she got rehired before they had this case. Because I don't think he should be able to refire. Well, can he refire them? Because they basically said he can fire. Well, he don't have to rehire, I guess. Let me read that thing. I'm going to read that again. 'Cause I'm thinking like it's saying that he can fire them, but maybe it's that he don't have to rehire them. But if he's already rehired them, that means he shouldn't be able to fire them again. Okay, I have the articles, y'all, in the chat. Oh, see, and Pete Buttigieg used to be the Secretary of Transportation. We didn't have all this stuff. Like, Biden had competent people. I mean, I understand he was older than everybody, but he had people around him to help him with his job. They knew what they were doing. These people right here, you gonna fire all these FAA people, people in transportation, and then the planes go down, and you want to say it's DI. No, you firing people who know how to fly the damn plane. You can't be firing everybody. They want to know why stuff going wrong. Okay, y'all, I've been on here long enough talking and everything. But thank y'all so much for listening to me for this little bit over 45 minutes. Please definitely check out the articles that are in the description. The how can we fire him is that we have to contact. So the thing is, the House of Representatives is the one that starts the impeachment process, and the Senate is the one that has the trial. Well, he's already had 2 impeachments. This, if we're gonna do it for a third time around, because Representative Al Green of Houston said he wants to, I guess, introduce articles of impeachment again. Because he even brought up like, oh, he wants us to make Gaza the Riviera of the Middle East. I'm like, there are people already living there. Like, what are you doing? This, like, you give me U.S. imperialism from the 1890s. Like, what's going on with you, sir? Like, we just okay. Like, when was that a campaign promise? Like, you just saying some stuff because it sounds good. So, but also what really needs to happen, exactly, this is not the apprentice, but he's like firing everybody every week. That's the thing too. That's the bad side of it too. Because if we impeach him, that means JD Vance is president. But what if JD Vance is just really acting like him, and he actually pretty much end up being a decent guy, or he's just like him, and we end up with him? Or my thing is this: can we impeach a couple of them at a time? Could we do the president and the vice president? Look, can we do the president? And then I thought about the order of succession. So after the president, vice president, it's the Speaker of the House. I do not like Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. And then the after him, order of succession is the president pro tem of the Senate, and that is, I think his name is Dick Grassley or Chuck Grassley. He's 91 years old, and he is pro Trump all the way. He's saying these courts are doing too much and not letting, they're against the Trump agenda. And I said, And then Speaker Johnson was the one that said, well, the courts need to understand we're the ones who do the budget. And I'm like, are you threatening the courts? And he's from Louisiana, by the way. I don't know who voted for him. So I need people to contact their House of Representatives. Mine passed away, and I'm really sick of my governor. He gonna put the special election in November. So we're gonna be without a representative for 6-7 months. And then Arizona, I think they're having their special election in September. Like right now, having a representative in Congress, like we need those numbers, because right now the Republicans got a slight majority. So I'm saying, hey, go to the town halls, go to the marches, the protests, contact your congressman, support the Democrats and the few Republicans who are not with this foolishness. I'm trying to figure out, do I need to run, or can I sue my governor? Is he taking his for sweet old time? Like, we can't have an election next month. What are you doing? Like, I thought he took too long the last time. I was like, why are we doing a special election? She died. She actually had died like in June, and we didn't have a. We had it during the regular election. And I was like, that was 5 months. Her daughter only was gonna be able to finish 2 months, and then Turner was gonna start in January, and he died in March. And then it's what, April now? There's like 11 people, I think, so far have thrown their hat in the race. I think 11 Dems and one or two Republicans. Uh, yeah, so I'm just like, okay. I think, and then, oh, I can't stand my good. I didn't vote for him either. He get on my nerves. I need to fix. I keep saying it. I need to look up how to get an amendment on the ballot for term limits because he need to go. Got term limits for president. Got term limits for the mayor. Oh, why is he talking about third a third term? And I'm like, sir. And then speaking of House, Johnson was talking about, oh, well, I talked with the president when he was joking about that, and that's really unconscionably, infeasible. He was just joking. Then the next day, the president said, oh, I wasn't joking. I said, wait. I said, And then someone else said, well, if he gets to have a third term, then he has to go against Obama. And then people start doing polls, Obama versus Trump, and Obama's winning. He's not liking that. I know he stopped talking about the third term for a little bit. Oh, I just was like, yeah, that's the only thing is, then yeah, it really is. And then this is the thing. We're supposed to have checks and balances. Oh, I'm in District 18 in Houston. Sheila Jackson Lee used to be the congressman where I live now, and then she passed away from cancer. And then Sylvester Turner was the mayor of Houston, and then after his term, because of term limits, he then filed for her seat, and he won. Yeah. So my former congressman, when I lived on the South Side, was Representative Al Green, the one that got kicked out. I really like him. He got kicked out of the joint session of Congress because of the president. And he was like, yeah. So yeah, peace them out. And the only thing is that then it goes in the order of succession after Dick Grassley, who's the president pro tem of the Senate. It goes in order of cabinet members. So guess who's the first cabinet member, y'all? It's Secretary of State Rubio. Then it's I believe Treasury, and that's Bissett. I don't like him. And then Pete Hegseth is 3. He's the defense. And then the 4th one is Attorney General. That's Pam Bondi. I can't stand her. The 5th one is he hasn't said a whole lot. His name is Doug something. And I'm just yeah. None of them I won't. None of them. I just need some checks and some balances. Like, can y'all do some Congress? Can y'all do some balances? Because the courts they seem to be the only one doing their job. They can't do it by themselves. Because he over there writing executive order every way. Like, he don't even need y'all to do nothing. So I'm just like, okay, some gotta go. Okay, when that blue tsunami hit them in next year, that they better not be surprised. They better not be surprised. Mm-hmm. Okay, y'all, let me go ahead and go up in here a while. So, yeah, definitely. And then someone said he's going to be the same age as Biden was at the end of his own term. So, sir, should we even be listening to you? I do. You know what? I do too. And I was like, he was looking. By the way, he's been looking like he's either gaining some weight or he on some new blood pressure medication because he's kind of like puffy now. But after the whole signal game, and then when I started hearing him talk about the pro-Palestinian international students and him saying that you came over here to study, you didn't come over here to do a protest movement. And if you're over here causing this trouble, then we're taking your visa where we're deporting you, we're kicking you out. And I was like, oh damn, he has joined the dark side. Like he joined the dark side. And I was like, okay, because he's never talked like that before. And his parents were immigrants from Cuba. I'm like, you got to not be invited to something from now on. Some family reunion, some family member's house, you probably not gonna be invited to right now. You can't be. Just whew, yeah. Okay, y'all. Let me get ready. Go to bed. I know it's kind of early, but still, I get up early too. So, thank you, Sidra Walkers. Thank you, Just Mona. Thank you, those who are in the bushes of the clouds. Thank you, those who are going to watch this on the replay. Please like, share, subscribe. Please, please, please look at the articles that are in the description. Let me put some of them in here so that you can read them yourself. Okay, this is Reuters. Oh, hold on. I think I put too many in there. Hold on. All right. Okay, try to put one at a time. All right. Okay, so that's the Reuters article. Wait, did it go in there? Okay. Then this is um okay. Um okay, transfer court ruling. Okay. And oh, this is the depart. Oh, how am I getting? Okay, trying to. Okay, all right. So I got the Reuters. Here's the Supreme Court ruling about the federal employees. It was one man. He worked for the HHS, the Health and Human Services. He was asking the man about, well, what about the people that I help to get services? Like, what is going to happen to their benefits? You know what that politician told that man? He said, "You probably deserve to be fired." And he's like, "Sir, why would you say that?" He said, "Because you sound like a," he said, "sound like an idiot," or something. He said to the man, and I was like, these these politicians, they gon' get it. Y'all trying to be slick talking like y'all Trump, but y'all not. Oh, did y'all see where um he skipped four people who had died and they were having their burial at Arlington Cemetery. He skipped it and he went golfing instead. Oh yeah, guess, and they said he spent $26 million so far this year. And he talking about and everyone's like, well, where is Doge at? I'm supposed to be trying to save money. Oh, and guess what he wants to do, y'all? His birthday is coming up. Guess what? He want to have a goddamn military parade, y'all. He want to have a military parade, which is gonna cost some millions of dollars. When did we ever have had a a military parade for a president? I can't remember. I mean, we got President's Day, but you know, yeah. Okay, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Please like, share, subscribe. Please check out these articles. Thank y'all so much for listening to me. Bye.